Hi, this is Josh, and by request, here's the boss battle minigame, which is basically a boss run through every single boss in the game, one after the other, in a very much endurance sort of trial match. First off, I'd like to apologize for the shakiness of this video. Usually my videos are very non-shaky because I put my DS down on a table and use a tripod to record off of it, but because of the nature of playing through all the bosses and the fact that they're kind of tough, I needed to hold the DS, which meant trying to hold it steady while videotaping. Once again, I apologize. This first area just lets you pick up any single item that you want, stored in your stomach. If you had gone to the right, I would have found the Dream Wand, but I'm not going to use it. Here's the only health you'll be getting for the next, well, through all the bosses. The first boss is King DDD, and I've chosen to do this entire run through using the Tornado skill. Why? Because I find it to be the best weapon in the game. And I can basically just invincibility run through all the guys and just, well, yeah, slam through them. Pretty darn easy for me to kill basically every guy. I hadn't mentioned it before, but King DDD has basically the same skills as Kirby does in his regular form. He just sucks things in, shoots it at you, tries to hit you with his hammer. It's pretty easy. This mole guy occasionally will jump from the background to the foreground and try to squash you, otherwise just throws random things at you. It's just easy. He's one of the earlier bosses. You play the bosses in order that you would find him in the game, so these first couple bosses are fairly easy to dispatch. To be completely honest, I find this next boss here to be the one I have the most difficulty with, and the reason I had to hold the DS as opposed to put it down the table. I just literally kept dying getting to this part when putting on the table. I did it probably 5 or 6 times before giving up. He's pretty easy regularly, it's just that I don't want to lose my Tornado skill, and I kept losing it or falling, or the Dream Wand when I used it would actually knock away the entire base below, the cloud base, and I'd lose it or I'd die. Either way, not a very fun thing. This guy just takes some patience to beat. He's fairly easy. Forgive me for not commenting throughout the entire video. It's just 10 minutes and I can't really fill that with much talking the entire time. Unless you want me to dribble on, in which case I will. This next guy, the robot digger dude, fairly easy to beat with basically any skill. Even just as Kirby himself, there's enough things he throws that you can just constantly spit things back at him. And he slows down the more you hurt him, so if you just can get through the first little bit without getting hurt and knocking a leg or two off, it's just fairly easy. If you're using the Dream Wand or something, another, the sail, for instance, or the sword, stuff from above won't hurt you, or won't hurt you as often, because it'll be blocked. I actually find the Fire Owl to be a fairly difficult foe, just because he tends to, well, grab you and throw you down. If you use the Tornado skill, or several other skills that can actually, say, pick up the fire ability, like the sword, or the wheel thing, you can use the fire below to enhance your power. And a couple instances you'll see me turning into a fiery tornado. It just does more damage against the Fire Owl. Yeah, if you can just figure out in time when he's going to try to grab you, you can just avoid him, and that's the only real danger to you on this one. Now, there's ice on the bottom, so again, if you have the Tornado skill or the sword skill, Or the wonderful wheel skill, you can turn a bit icy, and you can see I've been doing that on the bottom. It just gives you more damage. And regularly he's pretty difficult, just because he has a star wand that shoots out the stars, which you can suck in, but hurt quite a bit if you actually get hit by it, and his freeze ray kind of sucks. But again, not that difficult in tornado form. And for those fanboys who've been wanting to see the Meta Knight, here he is. He's pretty knighty, and I actually did consider just going sword on sword with the Meta Knight, but then I realized I'm rather lazy, and he's much easier to dispatch just by, well, tornadoing through him. Notice me tornadoing the hell out of him. He's pretty difficult. I actually think he's one of the more difficult guys in the game, if not the most difficult in the game. He's got fiery ball things he shoots at you. He's pretty darn difficult. Grr. This is a darker version of the former enemy. Exact same skill set, exact same powers, just they're a bit more damaging, a bit bigger. Look, bigger, badder beam. Again, if you figured out the last guy, how to avoid him and dodge him, it's the exact same thing. Except just don't get hit as much, like I did there. Here's the thing that irks me. I actually wanted to not pick up the Dream Wand, but you have to progress. And since I only have one tornado to use, I have to actually defeat the final boss with the Dream Wand. For shame, Kirby Squeak Squad, for shame. For those of you not familiar with the Dream Wand has not only the ability to bludgeon people to death, but also 3 little tiny circling stars, and they actually will hurt enemies if they run into them. And there's the next health. You actually get health before beating going against the final boss, who I don't find to be that difficult. And the Dream Wand actually, if you say use the Dream Wand, it'll shoot projectile stars that you can actually direct up, around, back and forth. And you can do 3 of them at a time. 1, 2, 3. It's a really good weapon. I just don't really prefer it compared to the awesome power of the tornado. And here you get some more health if you can dodge all these falling boulders. And like so many of the Kirby games, the final boss is a giant eyeball. Somebody has a very large eyeball fixation. Now, the final eyeball boss, the whatever he's called, sorry, they don't know, fanboys, he has several different forms. Like, this is his electricity form. He has a fire form, an ice form. He has a few different forms. I'm not entirely sure what they all are. I'm sure if you get this far, you can find out for yourself. But he's not that difficult of a boss, considering you also get a whole bunch of health before facing him. And here's his fire form. It would have just made a massive fireball. He also shoots stars at you. They hurt. And I'm going to just dispatch him really quickly. I should have used my bomb skill. And kudos to anybody who can actually beat the entire boss run through without getting hit once. I believe it is just completely possible, especially using, say, Tornado. When doing a run through earlier, I was able to only get hit twice the entire time using Tornado. It's, yeah, not that difficult if you're cheating your way through by using Tornado. I'd say give it a run through using Sword, give it a run through using many different skills. Like, hey, the bomb skill. Oh, there it goes. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope that was memorable for you. If not, just a little bit informative to the bosses in Kirby Squeak Squad.